Anyway, good morning. We are heading to Epcot today. Getting a later start because my flight actually got delayed. So I was supposed to be on like an 8:30 flight and now I'm gonna be on like an 11 p.m. flight, which is a little late, but that's okay. So I kind of pushed everything back at Epcot. So we're gonna do Guardians later. We're gonna do a tour that I have planned. I'm really excited. Gonna try to get on Remy and Frozen because I love those rides. And yeah, we're gonna eat a little bit at Flower and Garden. It's gonna be a great day. I feel like a lot of people find the Skyliner to be super relaxing. I don't know why. It makes me so oh, it's the bumps. They make me so nervous. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's another one. Also, forgot to mention, caffeinated and happy. I'm so excited. So we're stopped and I'm scared. I'm like barely moving. It's like swaying. Deep breaths. And people are probably gonna be like, why do you ride the Skyliner? I'm like, because I want to like it. I really do. Alright, so I made it to Epcot. I'm probably going to go to Nemo. It's about a 30-minute wait, and usually I wouldn't recommend Nemo for a 30-minute wait, but I need some time to kill here because I have a behind the scenes tour at 1. Okay, so we just got off Nemo. The Seas with Nemo and Friends is a classic Disney dark ride for all ages. Nemo was definitely having some issues, so I think that's why they had a posted 30-minute wait, but it was honestly a walk-on. We got stuck for a little bit, but nothing too bad. I'd say the whole thing maybe took 10 to 15 minutes, so definitely something to stop by, pull off, and then definitely check out the aquarium. There's manatees, sharks, a baby nursery or fish nursery. It's really cool in here, so highly recommend. Now I am off to my behind the scenes tour, which is in the Land Pavilion right next door, home to Living with the Land, and I'm really excited. So I just got done with the behind the scenes tour, and it was super informational. There's so much that I learned on that tour. It is so interesting to see how they grow the crops and just like the process and all the hydroponic gardening. It was really interesting. I got some footage because I was able to film, and it is technically considered backstage. I'm gonna do a voiceover over it because I just didn't feel like I could talk with like didn't want to like disturb others in the group. But it was literally fascinating. I think the most interesting fact, and it's gonna sound kind of weird, is that shrimps are actually cannibals. So that's a fun fact I never knew that I thought was interesting and would pass along. Okay, so we ended up starting our tour in the biotech lab. Here we learned that Disney will actually grow certain insects to naturally help with the farming process. Next, we learned about hydroponic gardening. We even got to see a boat from Living with the Land roll through, which was really cool.
Night, Stanley.
Hi, Stanley. Aww.
So what that means is that recycled cherry tomato that is an indeterminate. You guys know the difference between an indeterminate plant and a determinate, especially for tomatoes. A determinate plant is only going to grow to a predetermined size. It'll stay more bushy. So what we have to grow is indeterminate. So given favorable conditions, it can keep growing and stay alive. So from a very young age, they are trained that white string that's going to get wrapped around like a candy cane. Once the tomato reaches the top, they're going to let about a foot of line out of that spool and move it about a foot down the line. That's what causes them to grow in that circular pattern that you see there. It also keeps them all ripening at the same level. So then when it's time to harvest, super easy, they just go along in a rolly chair, pulling off all the little tomatoes. For these bigger plants, what you see there as soil, is going to be 75% peak, 25% carolyn. For the in here, it's really to show quality from the boat and how things look like to our guests from the boat. We definitely are not a production greenhouse. The greenhouses here provide less than 0.5% of food that's eaten by our guests. About to get on the other far front side of this greenhouse. These are our baby cucumber fans. So you can see very easily how they're trained from an early age to grow up this green. But the fun thing about the cucumbers is you can train not only the plants, but the fruits themselves.
Next, we learned about a few more plants. One of my personal faves is the coffee plant. Stay caffeinated and happy, friends. Another favorite was the melon. I mean, look at the size of those things. After we moved into the fish hatchery, where we actually got an opportunity to feed the fish. So fun. Definitely my second favorite part of the entire experience. Last but certainly not least, we ended the tour smelling some herbs and spices. Everything smelled amazing and obviously incredibly fresh.
So it's around 2:40 and I have a 2:30 to 3:30 Guardians Lightning Lane reservation, so I'm gonna head over there. It's definitely thundering and test track is currently down for lightning in the area. All right, so I just got off Guardians. That is the must do in Disney, like 100%. It is so worth it. Honestly, definitely wins out over Tron. That's not even like a question in my mind after riding that again. Holy moly, that was so much fun. But it is quite the experience. So it is a lengthy attraction when you want to plan your day. If you're looking at like dining reservations and other things, like that's definitely going to be something that you want to take in consideration. For me, with a lightning lane, from start to finish, the whole experience took about 34 minutes. So yeah, the pre-show is long but exciting, and I don't want to give too much away, but the ride is amazing. Definitely need to ride it. Highly recommend putting this at the top of your priority list if you're coming to Epcot. And yeah, I would literally come to Epcot just to ride this ride, to be completely honest. If you are doing the virtual queue, I would highly recommend budgeting a minimum of 1 hour for this attraction, a minimum. It might take upwards of 1.5 hours. I heard some people behind me saying it was 1.5 hours line for them, so just make sure you budget some time. This ride is totally worth it. This is one I would definitely buy Lightning Lane for if you can't get into the virtual queue. This morning I tried to get to the virtual queue and I couldn't get in, so I bought a Lightning Lane. I forgot to mention before that Guardians has a 42-inch height requirement to get in, and it is only accessible by virtual queue or Lightning Lane. Virtual queues open up at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. on the My Disney Experience app. I definitely need a beverage and a snack, so I'm gonna look around to see what's in the area and then probably jump in line to ride Spaceship Earth, because that wait is about 20 minutes right now, which is not too bad for the park. Spaceship Earth had a posted 20-minute wait. I got on in about 16 minutes and through the whole attraction in about 30. So not too bad. I did not get a snack and drink before, so I'm starving. It's definitely time for a snack and a drink, so I'm heading over to the Flower and Garden Festival and International Showcase. So I ended up going to Germany for my first stop. I got a raspberry beer and the pretzel bread, and the pretzel bread looks amazing. I'm so excited to try this guy out. delicious. That is delicious. Alright, so quick change of plans here. It is like 90 degrees and my flight keeps getting pushed around. It's kind of frustrating. So I saw that the Rose and Crown over in the UK has a 10-minute walk-up wait list. So I think I'm gonna do that and then probably head back to Pop and get to the airport because the time literally keeps getting changed like every 20 minutes. It gets earlier, later. I really don't know what's going on. So I ended up eating at Rose and Crown, which just happens sometimes. You know, I wanted to do the festival, but it was really hot, the lines were really long, and having a place to just sit and eat just sounded fantastic. Now, I got the fish and chips at Rose and Crown, and I honestly would usually tell you to do the opposite of what I did. I would say to go to...
Just ahead and to the right is Disney's Art of Animation Resort. A larger-than-life resort that celebrates the creative magic that goes into crafting Disney animated films, from sketches to reality. On your left is Disney's Pop Century Resort, a memorable resort that celebrates the way we lived, played, and communicated with each other throughout the 20th century.
So I would actually recommend going to the quick service restaurant and getting those fish and chips. They're really good and they're about half the price. But Rose and Crown was awesome. I also got the snake bite, yeah. The beer, and it was fantastic. So highly recommend that if you're going.
Gliding over the sparkling waters of Hourglass Lake, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the most magical flight on Earth.
If you're going to Rose and Crown. But other than that, I'm basically back at Pop, as you just heard, and it was a really quick, easy ride. Loving the Skyliner more and more.
In just a few moments, we will be arriving at the only floating Skyliner station at Walt Disney World Resort. Passengers can disembark here for Disney's Pop Century Resort and for Disney's Art of Animation Resort. Thank you for flying the Disney Skyliner. Bon voyage!
Bon voyage! Okay, so I'm going to pick up my luggage and probably head to the airport around 7. But yeah.
Please remain seated.